I got to lean in.
Hey to the people, let's go ahead and lean on in. Welcome back with me and two of my favorite bells on the lean, Asia and Shantae. How y'all doing?
Gucci.
Okay.
So
And I
Gucci.
am Chase. Yes, so Gucci. We're doing so Gucci. And I am
Oh.
Chase. And we're about to lean in, bitch. But before we do, make sure that you guys like and subscribe to this video. Welcome back. The bells are back. We're back as well. And they gave us one heck of an episode. You'll also be seeing Danny as well as Sammy on this show as well. So they'll be popping in. So look forward to seeing them as well. But we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Because one thing about the Bells, they never lack for action. We're back in Jackson, Mississippi. And let me do myself a favor. Sean S. told me to put my glasses on, and she was right every time. Uh, okay, so we're back in Jackson, Mississippi, where we left off at the doctor's office, and the worst kept secret in all of Jackson because they could not hold this down for 2 freaking months and just have us be surprised. We are there at the doctor's office. We see, what would you call it? What is that? The sonogram? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I ain't never had no children. I'm mother, but she's never birthed a child. Correct.
The ultrasound.
Yes, the ultrasound. Thank you guys. And surprise, surprise, it is Greedy and Tambra Cherie, and they're expecting a little bundle of joy. And I'm so happy for Tambra Cherie because we've known for quite some time that this is what she's wanted. She went ahead and talked about her fertility struggles, basically stating that she had surgeries to remove 39 fibroids in order to conceive this child, and that the embryos were implanted so that she can do so. So first, let's go ahead and I want to congratulate before the shade starts. You know, my show, for some reason, people like to get up here and throw shade, honey. So that's what we just don't give the people what they want. Before we throw this shade, I want to go ahead and congratulate Tambra on her baby and her pregnancy and doing it with someone that she at least trusts and Greedy. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to say congratulations before I say what I'm going to say next.
I feel like you said it for all of us.
Okay,
Bless
well,
their
great.
family. Yeah.
Because what in the arrangement is going on? We have not heard from Greedy. We have not seen Greedy, and that ain't pregnant. What in the arrangement is going on? Something about it feels very off. Do you remember when Kenya was dating Walter and Nene were like, it just don't seem like no relationship to me.
Yeah.
This does not seem like a relationship. This seemed like, okay, I like you enough. I want a child a number of age. I like you enough. I want a child a number of age, and we're gonna go half on a baby. It does not seem like we in love, and this is where the place that the baby is coming from. Like I feel like Tambra Cherie is trying to get us to fall for. Am I the only one like picking that up? Like this something off about this?
I thought it was kind of cute when Greedy was crying. It made me believe. I'm
Believe
team
what?
Greedy and Tamara Shuri. That they got
Made you believe what?
something going on. They got
Got you.
feelings
Yeah,
involved.
like they got half of a baby going on. And then the way they get it, they don't even have to have sex for that.
And they didn't.
So I won't say what I will say. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because we want
Nothing wrong
with a baby. And I won't even go as far as saying she's trying to like have us believe that they're in a relationship because she really didn't say, she ain't saying nothing about it this whole season. So I don't even believe like they're trying to make it seem like it's something it's not. We as the viewers just don't know what it is.
Well, I wish she would just say, you know, listen, Greedy, I'm not ready for this right now, whatever, but I love Greedy. I trust him. We go way back. We have years in the game, skin in the game. And this is why we're going to have a baby together. I wish that she would be a little bit more transparent. You're right. She has not outright said, I'm in love with Greedy and we're making this work. But she also has not said that.
Made out of love. And she didn't say it was like made out of like love. And
And I feel
she
like it is
said,
a love baby. I feel like they love each other, but not in
yeah,
love with each other.
but it wasn't made making love. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying. Doing the nasty.
it wasn't the
And
kind of love that
it
Sweet Tea
seems
talk
like
about.
she only had the option right then and there to plop it in. That's what I got from her confessional. Like, oh, I had the choice right then and there to just insert my embryo. So it seemed like something that she just had to do right then and there, like right after.
Wait, I thought she was saying the choice was whether to get rid of her uterus completely or to try to hold out and still, try to
But
have
that's the
kids
right then and
herself.
there. I think that's the right thing. And like she really don't have that much time, or she might have to go through all those surgeries again. So it's like she had to make the choice to like put the embryos in or get the uterus taken out. That's what it seems like. I don't know, because once again, she's not really saying much.
Yeah, I want her to write a book. I feel like Tamara Cherie, she's clouded in mystery, I think I would read her book over Letitia's book about the side chicks winning.
Lateshia book, and I know you just can't say that.
I'm curious about what Tamara Cherie. They said she got 39 fibroids removed and all that stuff. So she's clearly been through a lot, and she has a very good team because there are a lot of people that suffer, through different issues, and there's so many things that we could learn from Tamara Cherie. So
like what?
I know she said. Well, she said
she can just write an article or essay. We don't gotta have no whole book about that.
She can be a contributor to the Huffington Post.
Yeah, she like up with some politicians.
WebMD, she throw some up on there, but we don't need no book from her.
She got a journey, man.
She gonna try to narrate it, and you really think somebody gonna
not narrate?
Shantae, girl,
no, someone else needs to narrate the audio.
I would get a Tamara Cherie audio book. Hands down, it's gonna happen.
You will listen to it. You listen to the audiobook.
I would listen to it.
You're lying. You would not listen to that whole thing. You would not listen to 20 minutes of no audio book by Tamara Cherie. If you were gonna be anything, be for real.
Make it happen. I would listen to an audio book from Tamara Cherie while going to get brunch at Lateshia and make sure the plate's clean. And I will go down to Ferris Street and get my hair done by Latrice, because Latrice says she ain't putting no store on Ferris Street. If Latricia running it, she gonna do it. Oh, we're gonna get into it, baby. It's a mess. The mess is starting, girl. So Gucci invites Lateshia to a boot store where she reveals she wants all the ladies to join her at the rodeo. Now, one thing about it.
And two things for sure.
Do not come back to that boot store without me, baby. I love old tall chocolate. Country man. Oh my God. Anyway, and he wasn't even all that. It just was everything encapsulated into what he was given was enough for me. It was enough for me. So yes, they're going ahead and getting their boots, and Lateshia goes ahead and just outright admits that she's in heat. I've never heard anybody on any of these television shows or these reality shows just say, you know what, I'm in heat, and I need it. Oh, Lateshia, anyway. I don't want to think about that.
She was looking cute. I wanted to give it to her. She was looking real cute in that scene too. Like,
well, compared to Sogucci.
I'm not comparing to Sogucci. I'm just gonna say she was looking real.
Sogucci looked all right.
Did you see them pants?
Yes.
Jesus. I mean, what this? Everybody that did something, you about to roast everybody today, huh?
No, man, I don't think Sogucci was dressed appropriately at all.
Yes,
Did you see the green denim? It was all cut out like everywhere.
I liked it, and
I didn't.
She like she was ready to ride. She was ready to ride the bull. So to me,
like a rodeo. We're gonna ride like a rodeo.
Lateshia won that scene in terms of best dress for sure. Let's just all agree.
Lateshia looked good. Look, I think Lateshia looked really good and happy. That's what I was.
I like both of them.
And she was looking a little slim thick too.
I thought they both looked great. So they were there. Sogucci pulls Lateshia to the side and talks to Lateshia about, I cannot help but say Lateshia like Marie Monroe. I hate that for me. Pulls Lateshia to the side to talk about the brunch where Latrice came in there drunk and was telling people, F your 9 to 5, don't nobody want no 9 to 5, and everybody want to be like me because I'm Big Treese. And so Gucci says that she feels that Lateshia does not hold Latrice accountable for the things that she does and she says. And Lateshia says that she's gotten that feedback in the past. And so Gucci confides into her that she was actually kind of afraid to tell her that because she didn't know what it would do for their friendship. And Lateshia tells her, hey, baby, we friends. You can tell me what you need to tell me, and it's going to be all right. And so A, I appreciated her reassuring So Gucci and their budding friendship, and B, I appreciated So Gucci telling her what she authentically felt. Now, there's two things I want to know before we move on to the next scene. Did you guys feel, Asia, that that So Gucci relaying that message that she feels that Lateshia uh, does not hold Latrice accountable was rooted out of hate, like because so Gucci and Latrice have issues, and they say they're moving past them, but we haven't really seen them do that quite well. Or do you think that it was coming from an authentic place? And then after that, do you feel that Lateshia holds Latrice accountable for her actions over the past few seasons?
I think it was coming from an authentic place, more so just realistic, because authentic means like, oh, I care and it's a genuine concern. It's more of a convenient place because both things are true. So Gucci don't like her. So, and when I don't like you, I really don't want you hanging out with people I don't like. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, you could do it, but I'm not gonna like it. And so any opportunity that I'm gonna get to throw some shade, and it actually be truthful shade, so I'm not necessarily being a hater. That's what I think it was. It's not like authentic and like caring, like, oh, I'm concerned because she's doing you dirty. It's more like, girl, you need to get with it because she treating you how she really treating me, and you're gonna be next. So kind of like a warning shot. Do I think she holds Latrice accountable? No. I think that's like real apparent. And I think when it's your friend and you want them to be a better person, like you just want to have a fun friendship. You ain't really trying to have that accountability stuff. Like you don't want all that entering in. She's trying to avoid it, but it's coming up, which most of the time it happens when you have a selfish ass friend and you start realizing like they're selfish and you have to start setting boundaries. You just kind of avoid them at first. So I don't think it's anything wrong with her like inching in towards it and taking the feedback that she's getting from her friends to start holding her accountable. But you could tell time is ticking and she's going to have to confront her sooner than later because it just, you can't avoid it.
Shantae?
I think there are a couple of things going on. I think So Gucci's still holding a grudge about that fight that she feels Latrice set up, So I think, one, she didn't think Latrice took ownership of her part, and her getting her, her ass beat basically, at the fight with Selena. But then also I think that she maybe wishes that she was on that panel too, because remember she ended up taking the mic and standing up for the whole town and the real estate situation when that lady had said that there aren't $1 million homes in their town. So if anything, I think that woman that had said that comment about the town not being fancy enough to have all those homes, she was the worst offender during that whole panel situation. But I think combined with So Gucci already kind of blaming Latrice partly for that fight, with Selena, and then her not being on the panel when Latrice was on and not as eloquent as her. I think maybe she was a little bit jealous and maybe wished that Lateshia, would have held her to the same regard that she does, Latrice. So in a way, I think it's a jealousy kind of thing. And I think she does have a bone to pick with Latrice, and she wants Lateshia to maybe switch teams and like be promoting her more instead of, being there for Pumpkin or Latrice,
That's pretty in-depth. I never thought about any of that. So what you're saying is the motivation behind So Gucci telling Lateshia that she does not check Latrice is because she wants Latrice's spot?
A little bit. because think about it. So Gucci, she's relatively new to the show, right? So Latrice and Lateshia, they do have a deeper friendship. And Latrice even admits that she looks up to Lateshia, and Lateshia kind of took her under her wing, with the whole speech coaching and all that stuff. And I think so Gucci, now that she's on the show and it's her second season, I think she thought that she belonged on that panel. But instead, Latrice was on there, saying these things that the girls didn't agree with. So I think in a way, so Gucci probably felt like she could have done a better job than Latrice, and she probably wished that she was on the panel. And she
So then
probably
your
does
answer is
want
no,
Lateshia to
it's not
take her
coming
more
from a
seriously.
genuine place. So you're saying no.
Well, it's coming from a place of genuinely not liking Latrice.
So then no. You don't.
Yeah.
If you give someone advice based off of your personal relationship with that person as opposed to their current issue that they have with the other person, and that influences why you say what you say, I would feel that it's not 100% genuine because you're not being completely objective towards the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm
she's
saying?
not objective at all. Yeah.
So if you're saying that those reasons are why it influenced her decision to say you don't check her and all these things because she wants her spot, then I think that that's not genuine. I think that the genuine part would be to say, hey, as my friend, I know me and her got issues, but what I'm saying is I noticed completely independent of me and her issues that you and her have a situation to where she does things and you allow it to go unchecked.
That's true.
I don't know. So for me, I never thought about the other things and all of that. But I would say that I do feel that so Gucci not liking Latrice does influence the way that so Gucci and all of the other ladies as well are pretty much somewhat guilty of this as well, as the way they approach situations when it comes to Latrice and the other girls. Like it's always, see, I told you, and you already know. So, I mean, I don't think that there's ever going to be a part where they're able to objectively, be fair in the situation. Now that I say that, it also is interesting that they're also right. So because
that's where I'm like,
they're right.
They're not lying.
They just don't like her, but they ain't lying.
It's not hate. That's why I can't say it's like hating your jealousy because it is true. It's just the opportunity to say. Now, if they were saying it and Treese wasn't really acting this way, that would be where like the hateration come in. Because girl, why are you telling me this? Like, that is not the case. But because it is the case, it has truth to it. It's just convenient.
And in terms of the panel,
told you so.
Well,
yeah, I don't think it's jealousy.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is go ahead and exit and come back. There's a bit of an echo on your side, and so I want to go ahead and try to subsidize that as much as possible. Subsidize? No, I want to go ahead and minimize that as much as possible.
Minimize it, baby.
Come back in. But in the meantime, give me 1 second. I want to see if she's come back in. In the meantime, we can go ahead and get started on Marie Monroe and Essie meeting with Lateshia. So Marie Monroe and Essie meet with Lateshia. There she is. Give me 1 second, guys. And thank y'all for tuning in with us. You know what I'm saying? It's Monday. We got it going on down to the same. Give me 1 second. Let me let her on. Up on. Don't.
Hey, is it better?
Oh, it's much better. Say something else.
Well, no, in terms of the jealousy thing and talking about that panel, I think that so Gucci should have been on that panel as well. So since she saved the day anyway by, representing the real estate side and she is on the cast, I don't know why Lateshia didn't have her on the panel with, Latrice, but just the fact that so Gucci was in the audience, and then Latrice was on there. I don't think it was jealousy because so Gucci did have to take the mic and kind of save the day and represent for the town. So she had a legitimate reason, to want
but she didn't bring that up, though. And here's the thing, Shantae. She didn't bring that up. So if she don't bring that up, I can't give nobody no credit, no coins, no kudos, no none of that for something they didn't bring up. I have never known that her not being on the. What did she say on the last episode? That it was.
But I think
didn't she say something like I don't know why I'm not up here or something like that?
I think she might have said in confessional, maybe.
I don't remember, but if she more so was like, oh, well, you could have just, if that was the case, you could have just had me up there. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm upset because I'm not here. That from what my
I'm sorry, Shantae, I can't rock with you on it because that's not what she said.
I think
it doesn't give none of this gives, to be honest, none of this gives jealousy. It gives more so it gives I told you so, but it don't give jealous energy.
All right, you guys. You say what?
It gives like I don't like you, so I'm gonna bring it up, but not jealous.
Pretty much. They're trying to get you. They know Lateshia has been Latrice's saving grace amongst the group, and if they can successfully turn Lateshia against Latrice, then
you
know. Marie Monroe and Essie are planning their annual Lupus Gala. And they mentioned how satisfied they've been with LP Enterprises, Lateshia Pearson Enterprises, and Hamilton Davis, who have been working together to find properties for future assisted living projects, which I think is fabulous. The girls are getting to the money, and they're also serving their community. Get those two birds with those one stone, lady. So Lateshia arrives. And they go over here and they talk about the business, but that's not the only thing on the docket because Essie wants to go ahead and discuss this interview that Latrice has done in the off season, where Latrice says that basically the ladies are her coworkers, and she does not hang out with them, and she does not consider them her core group of friends when the cameras are down. This completely blindsides Lateshia because Lateshia looks at Latrice as big sister, little sister in their relationship and is willing to help her, advocate for her, and go against other ladies at times and defend her in situations, putting her relationships at jeopardy in the midst. Now, Marie really let Latrice have it in this one, and I'm going to read some of the things that Marie said. Basically, Marie said that Latrice isn't Lateshia's friend. And that, well, before she said that, Lateshia said something to me that kind of was like, oh, Lateshia. She wanted to know was Latrice drunk when she did the interview, and it's like, oh boy, here we go. So now they're putting down this episode that there may be possible issues that Latrice is having with alcohol to cope with the issues that she's having with Zaddy. So we're gonna get into that in a little bit, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Marie also has a big opinion on this, as usual. She says that Latrice isn't Lateshia's friend, and that Latrice is an opportunist, and wants her life. Marie urges Lateshia to wake up and says that she doesn't know what kind of hold Latrice has on Lateshia, but she does not want Lateshia calling her when the shit hits the fan. Marie also feels that Lateshia can't teach anyone who is hood and ratchet class because Latrice is classless. Lateshia says that Latrice is the common denominator between the issues that all of the Bells are currently having with one another at the moment. A lot to unpack, and anytime that Marie get an opportunity to kick Latrice while she's down, she's gonna do it. It's been up and stuck since the very first episode of this show. Where do you land on all of this? Excuse me, Asia. Where do you land on this?
I don't. I just feel like, if I'm being honest, when it comes to just this relationship in general, it's just a tale as old as time. You gotta really just talk to your friend at this point. Kind of going back to what I said before. Don't nobody like Treese. That's clear as day. Treese goes around acting like she don't care. And she does. That's why she keeps speaking on it. Essie messy. It's this whole scene just
it's classic Belle Collector.
It was just classic. So it's just it's good to me. It's good TV, and it's kind of it's just understood. We know exactly what is going on in this scene, and then setting up the rest of the episode. And I think right here is where Tisha is just all right, I don't have no more options. I can't skirt around this no more. In terms of confronting Latrice. I mean, y'all can disagree with me if y'all want, but at this point, I feel like this is when it was like, okay, I gotta say something. It's too many people coming to me about this, and it is bothering me a little bit. And then we also have to factor in that Glenn is also getting on her last nerve.
The first and the last.
All of them. I think all the nerves are reserved for Glenn. Like she can't. And then whatchamacallit, Latrice's husband, what's his name?
Cliff.
He also is getting on her last nerve. So the two of them together, it's just like it's too much. So she gotta have some type of happiness. And everybody, if you think about it, everybody around her, it is. She got 3 nerves, and those 3 are on them. So with Messy Essie bringing that tape up, and she be like, hold on. Because if Latrice was smart, in my opinion, or if she really cared and didn't want to stir up nothing, she would have differentiated Tisha out of everybody else. Like she would like, them my coworkers, and I would say probably the only one who's not is Tisha.
It was shitty. Shantae?
Oh, I thought it was really funny that Essie was coming at this whole story talking about how she was fasting and, being all, spiritual and staying off of social media. But then as soon as her fast ended, she went right to the mess and finding this video. And it's definitely a way for Marie to kind of play innocent, but, have this person that clearly is on her team, take a jab at Latrice and separate, Lateshia and Latrice. So Essie, she is just so funny for doing this to me. But I think Latrice said it, so as much as it plays into Marie's long-standing beef and I think hate for Latrice did something wrong, by not, like Asia said, standing up for at least her friendship with Lateshia. But she's fed up, and I think she probably has been feeling ganged up against for a while, and she just let it out that she was fed up with all of them, and Lateshia caught the stray. But what do you expect Latrice to do in that situation? Like,
to be a better friend, Shantae.
Yeah, to be a way better friend. To be a decent, at least be a friend to me. Like
to be the friend that you say people aren't to you. You have to lead by example. You have to show people this is what I mean when I say I'm a friend, and this is why I feel like you're not one. You don't always say that in words. Sometimes you show it in actions. And she could have easily differentiated who was and was not a friend. I mean, if I was Tambra Cherie, I would feel some type of way too, honestly, because Tambra Cherie, the only one putting up with her, sitting next to her, talking to her, filming scenes with her, working with her when the other girls have kind of casted her out. So as Tambra, I would kind of be like, well, dang, I'm a little hurt by that too, especially when we're going to get into the next scene.
But think about from season 1. Even from season 1, she used to hang out with that dentist girl. I don't know, man. It's something that she maybe genuinely feels because maybe they got closer during the course of the show. But after everyone ganging up against her, and then maybe, the situation with her husband is exacerbating it, she's just, I think, at a place where she's fed up with everybody. And I think Letitia's catching a stray for sure, but I think her feelings of being ganged up against are legitimate. So she's just like, F them all,
Catching a stray is like something you do on accident. She intentionally did that. So no, her friend is not catching a stray on her behalf. She intentionally did that. And being ganged up or not, like you make these choices to put these announcements out here and put these pronouncements out here. And you gotta think, in the video we saw, that was her doubling down on it. Yeah. So we're not catching strays anymore. We're being intentional. we're being very intentional about what we're saying. So it would be different if it was like, oh, we're talking about the first time she said it and it slipped out. She said, I am standing on business and this is what I said and I mean it. So that's not catching a stray. She shot her.
But also, I think that bullet too has something to do with the husbands, you know?
Ooh, I mean, either way, she shot her.
Yeah.
It don't matter why you shot the gun, Chase. We can't hear you. You on mute.
Yeah, Chase, you're on mute.
Look around, everybody on mute.
Big energy.
Can you hear me now?
Yes!
Sorry, guys.
Chase one.
Mic check 1 2 1 2, honey. I was saying that if that's the case, and it does, let's not talk about the husbands. If it's about the husbands, then that further leads to Asia's point that this was not something done on accident. So it's not a stray. She shot her. It wasn't a stray bullet. She shot her with a scope. Sorry. Well, I hate that Sammy not here today because I've been telling y'all Latrice ain't shit for a while. Let me stop.
I know. She was my favorite.
I still don't know. I like Latrice. I still like Latrice. But you gotta call a thing a thing. You gotta call. You gotta say what it is. And sometimes, like people like that, you have to set boundaries against, and or you have to just put them in a different category. Like you're not necessarily my friend because you're way too selfish and you only think about yourself. And I really want to save this for that conversation. So I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay. Because I was going to say something too, and I'm going to save it as well.
Save the best for last.
Up with Yes.
Save the best for last. Yeah.
Because that's what they did this episode. Latrice meets up with Tambra Cherie, and they talk about sogucci supporting Latrice at her most recent event. And Latrice says they'll never be friends, but they are able to be cordial and move forward, and that's the best that she can ask for in this situation. She then opens up about her situation with her fibroids and how she's afraid to have the surgery, but she really wants to have a child, and her and Zaddy have been getting it in with no condoms since the day they met over 13 years ago. I believe they've been in a relationship that long. Tambra says this is why she is on the boards of fibroid financial education and success in government. And kudos to you for your work that you do with fibroids, Tambra Cherie. But the thing that she didn't tell that heifer was that she was pregnant and she's in the same seat that you have been in previously. Now, I think that's her business. She don't have to go telling her business. But it also underscores to me, I just said that maybe Tambra should be offended, but maybe Tambra should not be offended because about the whole co-worker thing, because she did not tell her friend she was pregnant. And where do we land on this? You have the right to tell people whenever you want to tell them, but I think this probably would have been one of the most opportune moments to tell Latrice, because Latrice is bearing her soul about how she's afraid that her fibroids and her issues may prevent her from being with child, as you're sitting there with child going through the same issues that Latrice has been through. Do you think that that Tambra Cherie missed the opportunity and should have told her, Shantae, or do you think that she's well within her rights to keep it to herself at this moment?
Oh yeah, I think they are coworkers. That's why Tambra Cherie didn't say anything. And the whole issue with, her going to the politician and, getting the $1 million research and all that. I think that's also something that Tambra should put in her book if she makes it, because that's really cool. So yeah, as long as somebody else does the audio, Tambra Cherie has such a story, and she's shrouded in mystery.
We gonna have you write the book for her.
Okay, Publishers Clearinghouse.
What?
What is that? Okay, anyway, go ahead, Asia.
No, I don't think that constitute us as not being friends and just co-workers, because one, you got to think about it. She just found out this baby is viable. She has a lot of things. She has worked hard for this child. So just because the opportunity is there doesn't mean you need to take it right then and there, especially because we see on Real Housewives of New York and stuff like that. You're trying to compare your situation to mine, and you don't even know how her sitting there right then and there, her saying, oh, I want to get pregnant. And then you being like, oh, I'm pregnant right now. And I went through it. Like, you don't know in that moment how that's going to make the other person feel. So you always want to tread lightly with giving information like that when you're trying to be relatable, because you don't want it to seem like you're competing or just offend that other person. Also, if you haven't told your family yet, if you and your spouse have decided just to keep it to yourself, like there's so many factors on why you wouldn't necessarily, after the first ultrasound, in the first time hearing a heartbeat, say anything. And then oftentimes, I know, like, I'm not a mother yet, but you want to keep a part of it to yourself for as long as you can, so you yourself feel comfortable with sharing that information, opportunity or not. And we also got to realize that these just my coworkers had already came out. So why would I tell you?
Mm-hmm. And as someone who has, gone through the whole waiting to tell people, I have always heard that it's safer to wait until after, the first trimester to just say anything, because miscarriages and all that stuff is very possible, especially, during that first 3-month period, and in my culture, yeah, we don't say.
She got fibroids. Yeah. She got the uterus about to come out. She can't even give birth naturally. The doctor literally just sat here and said X, Y, and Z. Yeah. So you're gonna want to keep that to yourself. It's personal. Yeah. It's just personal.
There are lots of reasons, but also Latrice, I don't think she's serious about the having kids thing just yet. There's been so many moments where she said things like, I don't want to have a kid. I'm focused on my career. Even when she was with Cliff, when he brought his grandbabies, she was like, good, that's all the baby you need right now, So she's always kind of held the light, at least to people and even to her own husband, that she doesn't want kids, especially right now while she's like building her empire.
It's giving mixed messages.
Yeah, so I don't think Tamara took it seriously either when she was saying that. I feel like Tamara felt she was filming a scene, since they're both, doing this show. And just the fact that Latrice also claims to not want to have kids, but then has not been on any type of birth control, that gives me that either she has been trying, and because it's been unsuccessful, that's why she's been putting it out there that she doesn't want to, because it hasn't been happening, or it's just for drama and she's confused, because it is strange that she's saying now that she's concerned about not having kids when like she's never wanted it. It is confused. She's giving mixed messages, like Kay said. But I think in this scene, no, seriously, in this scene, if I was Tamra, I would have read it as, oh, she's just being dramatic for this scene, since, we're doing this show. But everything else...
Were you a crummy friend if you think that? I'm joking.
No, I think so, because she's been giving all these times that she's never wanted kids. She's never, even to her husband.
She's always giving me the quiet vibe. Not that she doesn't want the kids. She just wants to have it at the right time.
Well, when is the right time, beloved? There's never a right time. I've always heard to have a child. With that being said, you guys, I want you guys to make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Thank you for watching us. Replay game, Monday game. What's the TTT? The Bells are back, and so are we. And we're going to move right on to the next scene, okay, guys? Because we got to get on out of here. So it's finally time for the Bells to meet at the rodeo. And JJ urges Willie to get up on that bull. And Willie got up on that bull. And then Cliff toots up on that bull neck. Oh my God. And ain't gonna be nobody riding no bull without JJ getting him a piece. But did Glendale get on that bull? Absolutely not. Glendale asked Cliff to sit behind them, which pisses Lateshia off because she feels that Cliff is constantly trying to undermine and overstep his boundaries in regards to their marriage. And we're going to give you some examples in just a few moments. The group goes to dinner, and Marie Monroe is stuck on the other end of the table with Tambra, Cherie, and Latrice, and that is funny because Marie was looking like, girl, get them from by me. And so I don't know if you guys caught it, but in the next scene, instead of it being Marie, Latrice, Tambra, it was Marie, Cliff, Latrice, Tambra. So Cliff went ahead and inserted himself in women's business again and broke up potentially a fight that I wanted to see. So thanks a lot, Cliff. Tree says that the collective right now is currently split into two groups, and it is Tambra, Cherie, and Latrice versus the rest of the collective. And baby, that's like having a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. You need some better help, love, because Tambra is nobody's ass kicker. I'm sorry. I don't want to undermine her and, what she brings to the table, but no, you're going to have some help. You might want to go ahead and get Selena. See if Selena can come on back and get the scrapping with you, because you ain't got a lot of help. If Tambra Cherie is what you got on your back. Marie takes the opportunity to catch up with Glendale, and Marie wants to know what the difference is between Glenn and Cliff being friends and Marie being friends with Lateshia. Cliff says that Marie went too hard and too far trying to split up their relationship and their family by going ahead and so much as renting an apartment in her name for Lateshia to get away from her husband. Marie says that, hey, I was doing that because obviously you don't put your wife first, and obviously there's someone else that you're putting first. So who is it? Who is it, Glendale? Is it Cliff? Is it Cliff? The people want to know. Why do you keep putting Cliff first in your relationship? The people need to know. So then Lateshia sits next to Aikisha and sogucci, and I just thought, like, good Lord, these relationship dynamics are really changing, because Lateshia opens up to Aikisha and sogucci, and she tells them that Glendale came to her office and told her that he felt that he didn't fit whatever it is, the image that Lateshia had and for the ideal relationship, to let him know. And she knew for a fact he got that from Cliff, because I guess Cliff sent Glendale an article showing, I guess, saying something about this woman felt like this is her ideal relationship, and apparently it was apparent to him that Glenn did not fit that for whatever Lateshia's thinking moving forward. Now, I'd have heard of old school pimps, but is he putting the old school pimp down on Glendale? Like, what is going on? So then that happens, and then before we move on, Lateshia says that she bought Glendale, a rodeo outfit for the rodeo, and when she got there to the rodeo, Cliff said that he had taken it upon himself to buy Glendale a hat, and Glendale saw the hat and thought, and asked Lateshia, did she feel the hat was cute, or did she feel like this hat was cute? And Lateshia looked at him and said, boy, you better put on that shit I bought you. Let's break it down. Let's break it down quickly, but let's break it down. Cliff has got some nerve. I do not understand why Cliff is so hell-bent on getting in between Glendale and Lateshia, but he is clearly, in my opinion, in this square, overstepping his bounds. He needs to mind his business and tend to his own wife. What is going on? Asia, tell me what you think about this, because it's too much.
Well, the one thing I did want to comment on is, like, I noticed the Aikisha and Lateshia conversation. I was like, oh, this. I never would have thought that was gonna happen. And they was agreeing and getting along. So I'm excited to see a dynamic shift in their relationship. 1, 2, Clint, why is that man buying that other man an outfit? I don't know. Like, that is where I just could not keep it together.
And it was cute.
That was some girlfriend. That's like, I'm Mr. Steal Your Man. Like, I'm Mrs. Steal Your Man. Like, he want Glenn bad. He want Glenn bad. That's what it, from the way he got up on that bull down to the buying him an outfit for the rodeo.
Not only to mention, I'm sorry, Asia, also to mention that before Lateshia went to go speak with Aikisha and sogucci, Cliff called Glendale, and then Glendale came running.
Look, it's somebody else in Glenn life, and it might be Cliff. And it might be clear. And Treese probably know. This is all alleged. Treese probably know. And now
they run. Oh, let me not say that because that is so crass. Never mind.
And even when they were in the stands, remember, Latrice told Cliff that like Glenn wanted him over there, and then Glenn went behind. Oh, Cliff went behind Glenn, and Glenn was trying to feed Lateshia the popcorn, and Lateshia was mad. She was like, "Why did you bring him to sit behind us?" You know, so she's clearly upset about the friendship, and she's upset that Cliff is in Glenn's ear. But I think they're feeding off of that negative energy. Like, for some reason, maybe Cliff wants to take Glenn under his wings, and maybe Glenn did go to him for advice when they were separated and say, you know, how do I get my girl back? And Cliff was like, hey, let me show you my way to get a woman under control, you know? And it's not going to be good advice. And I know Lateshia does not, you know, approve of it. And that's what made that comment that Marie said even more ridiculous, saying that Latrice wants Lateshia's life, because it's like, what would Latrice want about that? Like,
she wants her professional life.
Yeah, she do.
Maybe.
Latrice
wants
Lateshia's professional life, that empty office where she's like doing the brunches out of. Latrice has a whole hair empire with the hair vending machine.
Lateshia is doing speaking engagements.
Do you buy that lady's
extensions across America?
Have you bought that lady's extensions?
I don't think
you haven't. You haven't. You ain't never heard of the show.
I haven't gotten the hair extensions.
We ain't about to sit here and do that.
Are you going to Lateshia's brunches?
I will.
You know what? Actually, more than likely, I've been a brunch that she threw, or a brunch threw somebody out, but I definitely ain't never heard of that lady's extensions. And I'm not over here caping for that kind of business. What I am caping for is the fact that you ain't bought near one bit of her extensions. You ain't bought a lash. I bet you ain't even bought her edge control. You haven't had any of it. You don't even know the name of the brand.
Goddess Langs. It's Goddess Langs. I know that much.
What's the name of the edge control? What's the edge control name? Girl,
there you got me.
We're not gonna do one business is better than all other because her office empty. Latrice store ain't even built. She been building that damn store for the last 17 years.
And what's her job?
Everybody done quit on her. So we're not gonna compare their businesses. Sorry.
All right, put the businesses aside. Let's say the businesses are equal, right? In terms of even the marriages and everything, I don't think Latrice wants Lateshia's life in any aspect. If the businesses are equal, there's nothing to be jealous about there. And with the relationship, there's nothing to be jealous about there either.
I have to disagree with you because the reason why I disagree with you when it comes to the relationship, when it comes to the relationship is because at least Glendale act like he want him some of Lateshia. Cliff don't be acting like he want no damn Latrice until it's time to control her to get her to do whatever he want her to do. Break her down and build her up. At least Glenn may be cheating on her, but at least he act like he want her and cheat on her. I don't know.
He do want her. I think a cheater is a cheater. Like, want somebody and cheating all the time is, like, to me, two completely different things that don't necessarily have anything to do with each other. Because cheaters still be wanting that girl at the end of the day, and they always be begging for him back. Tristan just said he feel bad every time he cheat on Chloe, but he be cheating on her anyway. So he just gonna always do it.
And Cliff is controlling, but I don't think he's cheating on Latrice. So it's like, I don't think Latrice wants Lateshia's life because Glenn is a cheater, you know? And let's say their businesses are equal, then there's nothing to envy there either, you know?
You brought that up, though. That's all we were saying. You brought the business in it, and you got to stand on it now. You got to stand on business.
Oh, all right, y'all. Lateshia then tells them about how Maria and Essie showed her a video of Latrice throwing shade at the ladies and calling them all co-workers, which surprised Lateshia. Keisha is also surprised because she said, now, wait a minute, baby. Me and you co-workers, but that's your dog. But everybody else sees it. Let's call a thing, right? Excuse me. And then another layer is revealed where it is shown, it is mentioned that Latrice was asked if Lateshia was able to secure Ferris Street, which she had placed a business on there, and Latrice was very dismissive and said she entertained it, but it is what it is, which also hurt Lateshia. And she knows at this point they definitely have to have a talk, which they do as they finally meet. And Latrice, once again, now see this, Lateshia is it's just crazy how their friendship is, right? Lateshia is having a meeting. She thinks it's going to be a come to Jesus meeting. And Latrice is coming to meet with her to get advice on how she should handle herself in regards to an upcoming speaking engagement. So one person is coming to get clarity on the relationship, and the other one is so selfish and so obtuse to what she's been doing to the relationship. She's coming to, again, not deposit into the relationship, but take another withdrawal from the relationship. Wow.
Let's
get into it. Wow. That's good. That's good. Now that's wow. That hell for selfish.
Very.
Latrice will be speaking to the future hairstylist of America at the community college, and she wants Lateshia to give her. Stop laughing, man. She wants Lateshia to give her some advice. Too little, too late. She was all souped up on bourbon down to the last event, and she should have got that advice before she carried her ass down to that thing, embarrassing Lateshia and insulting everyone in the room with a 9 to 5. Lateshia says, "Hey, this is what happened at the event. You were drunk, you were belligerent, you were out of order, and you were insulting." And Latrice says, "You're attacking me and you're trying to tear me down." Huh? So not only are you selfish, but I can't be honest with you about our feelings without it always going to you being defensive, and being the victim. Okay. Let's note that as well, guys, right? So as the two ladies are continuing to talk, Latrice does apologize for calling Lateshia a co-worker after Lateshia realizes she's not going to get anywhere with her on the brunch. She moves past the brunch and says, "Okay, I'll let you at a brunch. Cool. But you called me a co-worker in your interview, and that's hurtful to me as well." Latrice apologizes for calling her a co-worker, saying that was not her intent. And Lateshia feels like she is no longer going to defend a co-worker against her real friends like she did against Marie, putting her relationships in jeopardy. Latrice says that she feels that, give me one second. She feels again that Lateshia is trying to tear her down, and Lateshia objects because when Latrice attacks and tears girls down like that, publicly saying that sogucci doesn't sell real estate and all of those things, she still is in her corner, even though she doesn't agree. Latrice says that she has never come for anybody first, and she came for sogucci because sogucci came for her. She has never come for any of the Bells first. I have to disagree. I will stand by and say that Marie attacked her. Marie came for her, and she fought Marie back hard, right?
Yeah.
After that.
Okay. I stand firm in my stance, and I truly, wholeheartedly believe that sogucci did not come for her. Sogucci was upset that she did not have the common decency to give that lady a phone call and say, "I'm doing business elsewhere." And when sogucci did say something to her about it, Latrice's automatic go-to was, and I'll never forget it, "I'm not in the business of babysitting other bitches' feelings." Did she not say it?
That's what she said.
So again, we have a situation where Latrice does not take accountability for her actions and her contributions to the demise of her relationships within the Belle Collective. She needs to also take into account the things that she does and she says. She's always on attack mode. She's always on defense, as she said, because she feels that people are tearing her down at every angle, and she admitted that. Lateshia feels that she is building Latrice up and pouring into her, and Latrice wants to compete with her and tear her down. Latrice was honestly taken aback by that. I don't think that she saw that coming. She was flabbergasted. And then Latrice says, you know what? She came to Lateshia for advice, and Lateshia tore her down. And this was 10 times worse than any other time her husband has previously attempted to tear her down in the past. A lot to unpack.
Chase,
Latrice, that's not 10 times worse. I'm sorry. That's not 10 times worse than what your husband did, because that's your friend, that's your damn husband. Okay. And they're supposed to serve two different purposes in your life. And I think that Latrice has so much past trauma built up that she does not know how to properly distinguish and place people in her life. She holds people to different standards and different regards in the places that they should not be. That is your friend. That's not your mama.
But she looks up to her, though.
She looks up to her.
This is what you guys are forgetting.
Hold on, wait, no. You can be hurt.
I don't forget nothing.
But how can her hurt be worse than your husband's hurt? That's your motherfucking husband.
But if he always treated her like property,
hold your husband to the same standard that you hold your friends to, and maybe you wouldn't be putting up with his shit either. Now you can interrupt me.
Let me say, because what you're saying is true, but I feel like there's a little bit of nuance. When it comes to Cliff and Latrice, right? Latrice has always given like the trophy wife, and she has been looking kind of for like this secret kind of daddy figure. They have this very weird dynamic where he's always controlled her. There was never the sense of mutual respect. At least he does not give that. And she's even said it herself that she wishes now that she doesn't call she wished that she doesn't call daddy anymore, and she doesn't want to do it anymore because their dynamic has gotten so twisted, and the foundation was always that twisted, and she's trying to change it now. So I think she does expect more from Lateshia than what she expected from Cliff, because their dynamic was never equal. She looked up to Lateshia, and Lateshia poured into her. But it's true. Latrice, I think, would benefit from therapy, but you have to admit she was never getting poured into and cared for as much as controlled, when it comes to Cliff. But when it came to Lateshia, like we said, took her under her wing and actually poured into her. So I think there is a place for her to be heard. And even in terms of the brunch, she could even took it as a setup because Lateshia was the one that was giving people the alcohol first. So for Lateshia to throw it in her face that she was drunk, but still she set the tone that it's okay to drink and take the edge off. And now she's throwing it in Latrice's face.
8% alcohol versus something that's 42.50 proof.
Drinking is drinking. No, if you say it's okay for people to drink and then throw it in someone's face that they drank, that is something
she didn't throw it in her face that she was drinking. She threw it in her face that she was drunk.
Absolutely not.
Y'all gotta give it
okay to drink. What do you drink at brunch? Mimosas. Not Remy and pineapple juice. You don't have Hennessy slush.
The attendees can drink mimosa, but the speakers, none of the speakers were drinking.
At a cute brunch, you be cute, your hair be cute, your outfit be cute, and you have a mimosa. If you decide to do anything, that's the norm. So that's not saying, it is or isn't okay to do this. That's not encouraging.
For the attendees.
No,
for the attendees to drink. None of the speakers were drinking until Lateshia brought it back there. Lateshia started to drink in the speakers.
Hold on.
Yes,
so
she did.
If that is the case,
yes,
it is up to you to govern yourself accordingly.
Yes,
Remy, that is nobody's fault but Latrice's. And she couldn't handle her liquor. That was nobody else's fault. I'm sorry.
But she can't throw it in her face.
Yes, she can.
And you know what?
I don't think it's fair.
And she did. It doesn't have to be fair because guess what? She don't owe that lady nothing. If she decides to pour into her up until the point where she's way too selfish, is not pouring back into that friendship, that's on you. You're selfish. You don't handle your husband accordingly. You are upset because the person's supposed to love you don't. But that has absolutely nothing to do with me. I don't owe you anything. You don't come up in my business acting a plum fool, drinking Remy and telling girls that actually work for you, that have a 9-to-5, that they basically ain't shit. Come on now, let's have some decorum. And I'm one who really don't be want to have none. But if I can see that you're drinking Remy, you're acting a fool, your man don't like you, that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with your friend. And no, you don't have any right to feel any type of way that I'm putting you in your place because you're treating me like crap. And you do it over and over again, and I'm tired of it. So no, I don't want to hear your crocodile tears because you're grown and you have enough money to go to therapy. If she's not in therapy already, to actually face your fears and face your problems, I can feel you on that. But girl, absolutely not. You're not being a good friend. And at the end of the day, that's all it is. Nothing else matters. She's a bad friend. She even sat there and said, I don't like how you did X, Y, and Z. You made me feel bad because you said we're coworkers. And she said, I'm sorry if I made you feel that way. No, you did make me feel that way. It ain't about how if you made me feel. You did. So be sorry about that. Again, she's selfish. She doesn't need to be walking around trying to collect friendships like they Pokemon cards. What she needs to do is get her life together, go to therapy, fix her marriage, and then go make other relationships. Because everything else is moot, has no point. She needs to work on herself before she try to bring anybody into this world, before she try to have any more friendships, before she really thinks she can run up on anybody doing anything. She don't need to go talk to them girls at the cosmetology school. She don't need to do that. She needs to sit down and get her.
Two things can be true, because you are right. I don't think Latrice is a good friend either. But in her mind, because I think she's still selfish and childish in a lot of ways.
Yeah, she's
it's like children, you expect your parents to give you everything, but if your parent asks you for a glass of water, you're like, what? Why I got to go do it, So I think for Latrice, she definitely was in the, I guess, habit of always receiving from Lateshia, and that has been their dynamic. So now the fact that Lateshia expects something, she's like, but wait, you're my, mentor. You've been pouring into me. So I think she was shocked that now Lateshia expects something from her, because again, that hasn't been their dynamic. And I think she does need to grow up, and she's very childish in a lot of ways, but that still doesn't negate her feeling like Lateshia is supposed to pour into her, because that's been the case the whole time.
Because you're a child. Like, if you were a child,
she acts like a child.
Go back to
If that's the case, she needs to start paying her for her mentorship.
And girl,
bye.
No, your feelings don't matter no more. When you act an ass and you don't act like a grown up, we're gonna have an adult conversation.
Yeah, she got grown to do.
Whoever booked Latrice to go come down to that thing and speak to them girls at the Hair Institute of Lamert, don't listen to her.
Get your funds back, sis.
Oh no, if it's about some business from here, I'll listen to her. I'm sorry, I will listen to her. Long as ain't no do say in the room.
Remy.
Girl, Shantae, you got me. You said drinking is drinking. There's different levels to alcohol. Girl, bye.
I don't think any of the speakers should have been drinking.
You got if a speaker can handle some champagne, they can drink. But if a speaker can't handle no Remy, they shouldn't drink. That's it. Just because one person has a certain level of tolerance doesn't mean the other person should suffer because you don't have tolerance.
That's like drinking on the job, though. Would you drink at your job? I look at it as like drinking on the job.
What do you do? You be speaking.
Well, yeah, I was a teacher in a high school setting, and now I'm in my professor setting.
Drink at a brunch panel. Yeah,
it depends.
No,
this is the thing. Usually, you don't drink at work. The only time you drink is if, for example, it's a I don't know, Christmas party, and the boss brings the wine. Then you drink then at the Christmas party, and that's what I saw at the brunch. People were on the job. Nobody was drinking, and Lateshia busted out the champagne. So she's the one that opened it to like, oh, okay, this is the game.
She bust out the Remy before.
She didn't bust out the Remy, but she turned that into a drinking situation. I stand on that.
It was already a drinking situation. It was a brunch.
For the attendees, not for the speakers. That's their job.
It was a brunch for everybody. Everybody was there.
I don't know. You have to agree to disagree. Lateshia started that, and I ain't changing it.
I neither am I. I drink every day at work.
All right, Belle. All right, Belle.
Tell me. You can't sit and tell me
Belle.
that Remy is the equivalent of some Martini Rossi. Bye.
Okay, Belle.
Alcohol's alcohol to me.
Okay, Belle.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Agree to disagree.
No. You got Chick-fil-A on my face.
Everybody. So I can.
I love
y'all. Please, hush. Thank you. Thank you, and I thank you. With that being said, you guys, you see we got a live one going. The bells get us going. And next week it's going to be even worse because it looks like next week is going to be an even bigger mess than this week was. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you guys pray for me.
Please put in the comments if you think Champagne and Remy the same thing.
And please put in the comments if you think Lateshia also has to take accountability too.
For what?
For bringing the alcohol to the speaker.
No, ma'am. Okay, y'all. All right, all right. We're done. We're done. We're going to lead out, bitch. Thank you, guys. One hell of a Monday. We'll see you guys next time.